right, what is going on, guys? It is time for another episode of the Chasing Waypoints podcast. And this time around, we're on episode 38. And we have got the Rally du Morocco going on. So you guys tuned into the episode posted earlier this week. We did kind of a recap. I say, you know what? We're getting close to the end, so we should probably do another episode. Recap what has been happening here. So, staged in Northern Africa, Rally du Morocco Rally, or Atlas Rally. Going on, completing stage 4 today, and they are, let's see, look this up. Happy to report that they've got their website results all up and running now, so much easier to take a look at and look at the rankings and that kind of stuff. And so, I am excited to talk about this and a couple things going on here. Let's go back. I believe they are, let's see, stage 5. Countdown says 5 hours, 6 minutes, and 9 seconds as the recording of this episode is going on. It is going to be the final day of the Rally du Morocco, stage number 5. All right, so let's get into this. So, now that we've got the results in a fashion where I can read them and I'm not having to save them to my desktop and fumble through them, let's see what we've got going on. So, stage number 3. Let's go back to that one. I know we did talk a little bit about stage number 3 in the last episode, and then say, well, you know what? It was kind of mixed for both Rally 2 and the Rally GP guys. But so let's recap that one. So, stage number 3, we saw Ricky Braybeck take the win on that one, setting the pace, and then it was S. Bueller on the Hero Motorsports Rally team. 2 minutes and 4 seconds behind him, and then it was Andrew Short on the Yamaha, finishing 5 minutes and 24 seconds off the pace. Adrian Van Buren now put that bike all the way up, also Yamaha, put the bike all the way up to the number 4 spot, just 5 minutes and 46 seconds off the pace of Ricky Braybeck, stage winner. We've got Cammy on the Hero Motorsports bike, so I'm starting to get curious about these Hero Motorsports bikes. Find out a little bit more about them. I know the late Speedy Goncalves was one of their riders, and he's now racing in a different place, watching over these guys. But definitely curious about these bikes. I know they've been putting up a showing in the last few. I've seen a few of them up at the top of the standings, so curious to find out a little bit more about them and what they're doing. Another bike joining the top ranks too. So we have in that number 6 spot for this time around was Luciano Benavides, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing. Hey, it doesn't say imitation anymore. Now it actually says the bike that it was. Replica. That's right. It was saying replica before. So let's see. And then we've got a Sherco. Mr. Santolino in that number 7 spot, 10 minutes and 35 seconds off the pace of Ricky Braybeck on stage number 3. And then the KTM factory team, Red Bull KTM factory team, Toby Price, Sam Sunderland, and Matthias Wagner, 10, 11, and 12, bringing that up. And they're respectively 11:49, 12:33, and 13:09. So sticking together. Stage 3 finishing up that way. Well, we're going to stage 4. So I have a theory, right? So these guys, there is strategy in rally. And I don't know if I talked about it in this last episode. It's been a crazy last week. And so it's hard to remember everything I talk about. Maybe I should listen to the episodes a little bit more often. But okay, so let's go back to all the way over to the qualifying and prologue. There is, in case you didn't know, there is strategy in rally. The best place to be in is not the first one off the line, unless you're a very accomplished navigator and you are or familiar with the terrain. I think that, or you feel like you would have an advantage of that. opening a stage. And interesting enough that Mason, we did talk about this in Mason Klein's episode of the Sonora Rally, one of the first times that we spoke with him on the show, on the podcast. He did mention that he did actually like opening stages, but that's not really the norm. A lot of people prefer to have some tracks in front of them. So with the KTM, Red Bull Factory KTM team, right? Price, Sunderland, and Walkner finishing 10, 11, and 12 in a tight-knit group, 13 minutes off the pace. I don't know how close that is, but we would see if that's something that in stage 4, which we already know. If you're listening to the show, you already know stage 4 happened. But I'm curious, before I switch the page, I want to see how their days went and if they were able to basically make up time or kind of that, what was it? Talladega Nights, the slingshot engaged kind of thing, you know, where they're able to take some of the pressure off of the navigation and be able to jump the standings a little bit higher, just simply because they weren't the first ones off. They've obviously got some fast people in front of them that have navigated and done this thing so that they will have a cleaner track. Now, Ricky Brabeck did mention it in one of the interviews that he talked about it. This is navigating his own rally and navigating and riding his pace. Very important, because the other side of it is that you could get lost in your own road book, lose your mark, and now it may be a little bit tricky to get back on pace. At least that's how I see it. You start running and without really realizing it, you run off the page of where you're at because you get sucked into running into tracks or running and following tracks on the ground that you lose your spot in the road book. So a few tenths, that kind of thing. I don't know. With more experience, I'll be happy to share if that's true or not. But overall, that's how it feels. But the big thing is, and I think this is something that Jimmy Lewis mentioned as well, is hey, you navigate your own rally too. You know, don't no freeloaders. So yeah. So let's see who else we have. Nacho Cornejo in that number 13 spot. Monster Energy Honda, 1346. So he'll be keeping an eye on the KTM boys just in front of him for stage 4. Skylar House finishing 15th on the day, 16 minutes and 21 seconds. So let's see. So that was through stage 3. That was for the Rally GP class. Let's look at the overall rankings. That put Ricky Brabeck at the end of stage 3. Was, let me see here, General Virtual. Here we go. All right. So at the end of stage 3, Ricky Brabeck was leading the way, 10 hours, 43 minutes and 43 seconds. Quintanilla in that number 2 spot was 10 hours, 54 minutes and 10 seconds, going to be 10:27 behind Ricky Brabeck. Matthias Walkner in that number 3 spot on the Red Bull Factory KTM or KTM Factory team. 10 hours, 55 minutes and 52 seconds with a 12 minutes and 9 seconds gap. Adrian Van Buren in that number 4 spot. Monster Yamaha Rally official team finishing up 11 hours, 1 minute and 16 seconds with a 17:33 gap to the lead. And again, these are the overall results through stage 3. Then after that, it was Nacho Cornejo in the skip. Oh, what about the gas? So Daniel Sanders on the gas was in that number 5 spot, 11:02:14 with 18 minutes and 31 seconds off the pace. And then from there, Nacho Cornejo in that number 6 spot, Monster Energy Honda team, 11:02:26, 18 minutes and 43 seconds off the pace of the rally leader through stage 3, Ricky Brabeck. That is the 6th. Then we've got Benavides in that number 7 spot, Sam Sunderland in the number 8, Andrew Short in the number 9, Kevin Benavides in the number 10. And then from there, we just run down the list. You've got, let's see, take a look here. Skylar House in that number 14 spot, Toby Price in the 16, Ross Branch in the number 19 spot. Let's see who else we got over here. So a little bit of a spread out field there. And again, that was through stage 3. Let's take a look at stage 4 and what happened on that slingshot. Let's see here. All right. Just a second here. Let me flip the page. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Make this a little bit wider here. So reading off, if you guys are interested in figuring it out, gaps.rallydomaroc.com Or if you just do Morocco Rally, you look it up and you'll see it. But it's Rally du Morocco is how it's on the internet. All right. So for stage 4, Daniel Sanders took the win on that one, setting the pace. And then Matthias Wagner. This is what we were talking about. Matthias Wagner finishing up in that number 2 spot. Looks like 36 seconds off the pace of Daniel Sanders. Quintanilla in that number 3 spot. Beretta in the number 4 spot. Both of those guys on the Monster Energy Honda team, finishing up 2:55 and 5:47. So the gap starts to develop right there in that number 4 spot. 5:47 off the pace for Beretta. Then we've got Rodriguez on the Hero Motorsports team, 6:17. Toby Price, the Red Bull KTM factory team in that number 6 spot, going to be 6:52 off the pace. And then it's Skylar Howes in the number 7 spot. Rockstar Energy Husqvarna factory racing team. I'm glad that doesn't say replica anymore. Anyway, Skylar Howes, 7 minutes and 31 seconds in that number 7 spot. So this is what I was talking about just a second ago, is you see how from one stage to the next, you've got the KTM factory guys who finished in a bunch down the ladder at the previous stage in that 14th, now finishing up 9th for Kevin Benavidez. You've got Toby Price in the number 6 spot, and then Matthias Wagner in that number 2 spot. So moving up the ranking just from one stage to the next, giving them a little bit of an advantage. I don't know how much that is true, but if you think these guys are just going out racing and seeing who's going to complete the stage the fastest, period, that is not the case. There is strategy involved in this. So Daniel Sanders taking the win on that one. Let's take a look further down the list. So let's see here. Kevin Benavidez in the number 9 spot on the Red Bull KTM factory team. His brother on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna factory racing team in that number 10 spot. Let's see. We've got the 11. We've got Kami on the Hero. Andrew Short in that number 12 spot on the Monster Yamaha Rally official team. Let's take a look. Dissel Trey in that number 14. Ricky Brabeck on that number 17 spot for this one. 20 minutes back on that one. Probably a little rougher of a day. I'll go back and look for the news on that one, but a little bit of a setback. Let's see. So through stage 4, right? So now let's take a look at what the overall rankings are going to be going into the final day. So starting order for tomorrow's stage, or the stage in 5 hours, because by the time you hear this, which will be tonight, on Tuesday night, tomorrow, by the time we wake up, these guys will be in or completing the final stage of the Rally du Morocco. So let's go back here, look at the timings here. So starting order looks like it would be then Daniel Sanders leading the group out, Matthias Wagner in the number 2, Pablo Quintanilla in the number 3, John Beretta-Bort in the number 4, Jay Rodriguez in the number 5, Toby Price 6, Skylar Howes 7, Adrian Van Baren in that number 8 spot, Kevin Benavidez in the number 9, and Luciano Benavidez in that number 10. Then from there, with Cami in the 11th, Short in the 12th, Santolino 13, Dissel Trey in the 14th, Bueller in the 15th, and then we've got Svitko on Norwit Racing, not sure who that is, Ricky Brabeck 17th. Brabeck, I don't know. I kind of like that spot. Little ways back on the stage, but I like that spot to start the last day of the rally. It's a ways back, but that means you got a lot of track and you got a lot of fast guys in front of you. Especially if Wagner has to out-navigate Sanders and then ends up leading the group. I don't know if that's a thing, but we'll see. We'll see. But as weird as it may sound, I kind of like that spot where Ricky ended up and where our guys are at. Even Skylar Howes in that 7 spot, he's got some really good fast guys in front of him. So that will help him make up some time. But we'll see. I guess we're going to find out in about 10 hours or so how that shakes down. So overall rankings going into the final day, stage number 5. Let's see, general. All right. So we have got Matthias Wagner leading the way now, 14 hours, 47 minutes and 2 seconds. And then it is going to be Pablo Quintanilla in that number 2 spot with a 14:47.39. He's 37 seconds off the top spot of the podium. And so that will be interesting. And then Daniel Sanders in that number 3 spot, 5 minutes and 46 seconds off the pace of Matthias Walkner right now going into stage number 5. Ricky Brabeck in the number 4 spot. See, this is what I was talking about. 7 minutes and 34 seconds to make up to get the rally. So 7:34, and then starting back in the pack. And since I know he could ride desert and I know he could ride fast, I gotta say I like that spot. Adrian Van Buren in that number 5 spot on the Monster Yamaha. He is 14 minutes and 53 seconds. So there's a big gap right there. Just the top four, and then to the top 5 or to the number 5 spot. Luciano Benavides in that number 6 spot, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing, 27 minutes and 41 seconds back. Kevin Benavides in that number 7 spot on the Red Bull KTM Factory, 33:46 back. And then Joe Rodriguez. I really should look all these names up. But you know what? We're having fun. We're just going to do a quick episode tonight because that's going to be 2 episodes in a week. And we haven't even talked about what I really want to talk about. All right. So let's see. We've got Rodriguez in the number 8 spot, Hero Motorsports Team Rally. That's 36:13 back. And then you've got Andrew Short on the Monster Yamaha, 36:24. Nacho Cordejo in the number 10 spot, 39:19. Then it is Beretta Bort in that number 11 spot on the Honda as well, 47:44 back. Then we've got Desultre 50 and 15 seconds back. Skylar Howes in the number 13 spot, going to be 51:29 back. Toby Price just behind him, going to be 55:44 back. Santolino in that number 15 spot, that Sherco TVS Rally Factory, going to be an hour and 8 minutes back. So that is your top 15 in the Rally GP class. Kind of taking a look down the line. You got Ross Branch down in the number 24 spot, 12 hours. So I'm sure he's taking on a few penalties there. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be a story. And I am looking for, I'm looking for the Ricky Brabeck in Rally GP. I like the starting spot that he's at. And then with 7 minutes and 34 seconds to make up to get up to that top spot there, I'm really liking it. I think he's in a good position to make up that time and get it going. So don't know really a lot about tomorrow's stage, but I'm sure he's going to try and make as best use as he can of it. So let's see if they've loaded anything here. Let's go to stage 5 on the results here. I've got the countdown up. 4 hours, 49 minutes, and 40 seconds to that one. Let's see. Statistics. Here we go. All right. So, stage number 5. All right. Here we go. So, stage number 5, they are going to be starting Rally GP at 7:40 local time, 8:43 for Rally 2. Liaison is going to be 153 kilometers, and then Special going to be 291 kilometers. So, for those of you playing the home game, and if you've been paying attention and listening to the podcast, you know a little bit about this. So Liaison, right? That is your freebie. Penalties and things like that for speeding and missing points and things like that still count, but you are not technically on the clock. So in other words, you can take a predetermined amount of time, but it's not how fast you can do the Liaison. So that's you basically going from bivouac to the start of the race or start of the Special. Or from the end of the Special back to the bivouac. And then from there, the Special 291 kilometers. So a little bit longer of a day, but a good day, 291 kilometers. The quick math on that one. Let's see here. Break out the calculator. 291 kilometers times 0.625. 181 miles tomorrow. So 181 miles. I still think that's a sprint race for Ricky. So we are going to see. I think this is going to be a good final day. I don't think I could say that enough, but I like that starting position for him going into tomorrow's stage. So 291 kilometers for them tomorrow. I'm looking to see. Let's see what else we got here. That is it. Doesn't look like they've got a fueling point on it. They do have, looks like 6 checkpoints that they will have on the stage. So it'll be interesting to see what they do and how it shakes down. So 740 local time. Let's find out what time it is right now. Search the Google for this. At 2:52 a.m. So these guys are probably getting close to doing their morning stretches. All right. What we really, something that we definitely are going to talk about. And this is absolutely crazy. Yes, I know the waypoints aren't available yet. Let's go back to number 3. Stage number 3 for the Rally 2 class. Rally 2 class, this is going to be the bulk of the field. This is an actual very large entry group. A lot of riders in this one. I think they were up to 80 in the 80s, 82. Yeah, they had riders all the way up to number 82 posting times in this. So crazy. This is a big group for sure. Okay, so through stage 3 in the Rally 2 group, we have Lucci on the Solaris Racing team took the win yesterday. And that may have been, I think there was some penalty stuff going on for that one. I wasn't 100% sure because I'm pretty sure that Mason had the fastest time on that stage. So we'll have to try and get him on the phone and see if he can confirm or deny that. But still, with Mason Klein in that number 2 spot finishing the stage yesterday and Malo in that number 3 spot, then Mason's teammate on the BAS Dakar or BAS Dakar racing team, B. Cox, in that number 4 spot, finishing 11:46 back. So let's give those splits again. So Mason Klein 9:35 back, and then it was Malo in that number 3 spot, going to be 10:03 back, and then B. Cox in that number 4 spot, 11:46 back. Jay Jagger in the number 5 spot on the LG Rally team, 14:22. Martini in that number 6 spot, 14:33. Wildman in that number 7 spot, also teammate to Mason Klein on the BAS Dakar team, 21:39 back. And then from there in the number 8 spot, let's see, JL Lepan, Nomad Racing in looking at 24:03 back. So the gap is definitely developing quickly as you move down the rankings here. Let's see if we see anybody else that was on the teams or up there with these guys here. No. Down in 30th, we've got Liebert, another one of the BAS Dakar teammates to Mason Klein. So let's see. Yeah, so on the provisional, that is, yeah, I did see that. Pablo Lucci, they did finish in front, Mason Klein, but once they updated the results, there was a penalty for Mason Klein for missing one of the last waypoints and finishing up second. But guys, if you're in rally, it's going to happen. You're going to blow by a waypoint and you're going to have to make that decision. Is it faster go back and get it or push on and hope for the best? And well, in this case, I'm not sure. We'll talk more about that maybe when Mason gets back or when he gets a chance. We'll get him on the show and talk about his experience. Why is that important? Well, let's go over to stage 4 and talk a little bit more about that. So stage 4, let's see. What was stage 4 about? Stage 4, 337 kilometers for the Rally 2 class. On the selective part of the liaison was 179 kilometers. Let's see here. So that one, we saw Mason Klein once again back on top, taking that top spot for that one going into stage 4. So intents and purposes, I'm going to say that Mason has pretty much won stage 1 through 4. And on a missed waypoint, which does count, got knocked down to second, but still a very impressive showing. And not only that, but talk about the most badass way to saying bye to being a teen. Mason Klein's birthday happening, well, I don't know. He's a whole time zone ahead. So it was like yesterday, today-ish. I don't know. But anyway, happy birthday, Mason Klein. I know you'll be listening to this when you come back or on your way back, but good on you making it happen. So Mason Klein winning stage number 4, and then it was let's see, it was Bradley Cox in the number 2 spot, going to be 6:54 back, and then Malo in that number 3 spot, finishing 16:30. So big gap there between second and third. And then another big gap on to fourth. Jay Jagu in that LG Rally team, 26 minutes. So another 10 minutes on top of that. So maybe some penalties. That's, I don't know. Then we've got Lucci in that number 5 spot. Van Wilser in that number 6 spot. Elpen in the number 7 spot. In the number 8. Jay Boss in that number 8 spot. Let's see. Then, Morocco Racing Team. Look at that. We got a local in that number 10 spot, Gabari. Let's see. Missing that waypoint there. Ended up 51:38 for the day. So that is your top 10 on that one through stage 4. And that, top 10 for stage 4. Now let's talk about the rankings. So up top, let's take a look. All right. So going into the final stage, Mason Klein leads the way. Taking on a total of 16 minutes worth of penalties so far, but no sweat. He is leading the rally by 42 minutes and 53 seconds. That is going to be ahead of Lucci in the number 2 spot on the Solaris racing bike. And then you've got in the number 3 spot, Bradley Cox on the BAS Dakar team. So Mason's teammate going to be an hour and 7 minutes behind. Then from there, you've got Malo in the number 4 spot, going to be 1:10:16 back. Jay Jagger in the number 5 spot, LG Rally team, sitting 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 51 seconds back, followed by Jay Martini in the number 6 spot on the Anquetti Motorsports, 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 58 seconds. In the number 7 spot, Dumater. There we go. Privateer, Team Dumater Racing, going to be 2 hours, 28 minutes back and taking on 15-minute penalties. So starting from, with the exception of Mason, but starting back from 5th down, there's a whole string of penalties there. El Tonelli in that number 8 spot, Africa Dream Racing, taking on a 1-minute penalty, but he is 2 hours, 29 minutes, and 43 seconds off the pace of Mason Klein. So Mason Klein, your rally leader going into the final day. And then let's see, rounding out the top 10, Jay Boss on that Universal ride is 2:45:45, clean rally so far, no penalties. But tomorrow will tell. So that is what we have got going on for this one. So Mason Klein leads the way in Rally 2 going into the final day of the Rally Morocco Rally, or Rally du Maroc. So I'm excited to see what happens here, because this is going to be huge, right? Sonora Rally, a couple of those, and now here we are in Morocco. So that is awesome. And I did see a shout out from Larry Klein on Skylar House's post on Facebook, and Skylar, helping and promoting the sport and coaching. And I know him and Mason have been riding and they've been talking. And so, it sounds like some of that stuff is wearing off on Mason. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Already out there, already putting the bike on the top spot. So a win for him would be really good coming out of this one. So just checking at the news here. He is all over the live news. Happy birthday from the organization. You've got Klein Forges on. Extending his lead at the marker at PK 160. So, overall after stage 4, it's Mason Klein leading the way. Pablo Lucci, 42 minutes, 53 seconds back. Bradley Cox, 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 17 seconds. Benjamin Malo, going to be 1 hour, 10 minutes, 16 seconds back. And Jerome Martini, 1:56:58 back. So, let's do this. I can't wait. And we still got to wait 4 hours and some odd minutes. So I am excited to see what the shakes down. So I don't know, call it quits. See if we can hopefully get to the start of the stage faster. I don't know. I am excited though. Oh, I got one more thing to be excited about. Let me go over and grab this. All right. For those of you that are into ASMR, or whatever they call that. That was not a night at Taco Bell. That, yes. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my candy delivery from Rally Moto Shop. Well, it's actually some other parts. But it's always kind of cool because Matthew Glade and the guys over there are always sending candy along when they can, along with their goodies. So I've got, so I mentioned in the last episode that I think we've got a skinny bike coming. So of course the next thing I had to do was get ready to put my navigation equipment on said bike. And so hit up Matthew and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing. And he says, I've got what you need. And I said, okay. So I have got the CEV switch in hand, and then I've got the bracket to hold the CEV switch on the back of the thumb switch 3 from RNS, Rally Navigation Systems. RNS? Did I say that right? I don't want to get in trouble here. Let's see here. RNS Electronics. Make sure we're at RNS Electronics. So yeah, so we went Rally Navigation Solutions. So we went with theirs. I like, so ICOs are the standard. I mean, you're going to see those on bikes forever and then some, and even their Gen 1 stuff is still around and kicking and making the trips to the desert and back. I did like the RNS Electronics GPX version 2, the newer version. That has the integrated GPS antennas inside of it. I did like that better. The screen, it's the GFX V2 Pro is what I ended up with. And I do like, it's got the, it has the GPS antennas internally, so it's easier to wire. You don't have all this other stuff going on with it. So I do like that. And then it's got a bunch of different combined modes. So I don't know, I may end up with another one on there for the sake of OCD. But we'll see. But for now, at least I've got the bracket to mount to the multi-switch 3, so I can put the CEV switch, which basically, if you guys are not familiar with it, that's the switch that does like the horn, the high beam, low beam, and turn signal stuff. So that you can mount on the handlebars. It's a much more compact switch, and it's easier to mount and wire. So again, the idea behind this bike that I'm getting is going to be able to do rally routes on it and be a little bit better than the 790. 790 will do it. It's an animal. The problem is the rider doesn't have the talent to do that. So we'll work on rider talent here shortly. Probably going to be headed out to a couple of the schools. Want to get out to the Jimmy Lewis school, Jimmy Lewis off-road, and do some of that training with him out there because he happens to know a thing or two about riding a motorcycle. And then also happens to know a thing or two about training, no-name guys like Ricky Brabeck and those guys. So, yeah. So looking forward to doing that. But anyway, I am going to enjoy the Nestle Coffee Crisp. I wonder if you can even sell this over here in the States. It looks delicious, though. Well, like I said, I'm happy I got my candy delivery. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate your help in getting the right stuff and your guidance too. So it's always better when you know somebody that knows what they're talking about when it comes to equipment. So anyway, that is a wrap for today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This quick update. We'll look to do more of these. And like I said, I am working. We've got that new thing coming. We're going to be doing some tech talk stuff. And then we're going to be doing also, I got a few more guests and things like that I've got coming on. I actually got a big list going, and I just actually got to sit down and calendar stuff. And then I'm going to be talking and working on, I think for next year, I want to start, we're going live. We're going to go do some events out live. I am working on getting a mobile setup and doing all that stuff, but we're going to do some traveling. So, keep an eye out for the events, or if you've got an event and you think that we should go out to it, let us know or let me know, and just hit me up on the Instagram or on the Facebook. I'll be also getting the emails out shortly, getting all that sorted so it'll be easier to contact. But yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to helping grow the sport here in the States, do some coverage, do some different things, different events and things like that, riding events and such. So yeah, let's go 2022. All right. That is a wrap for today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next week. All All right, that is the wrap for the Chasing Waypoints podcast this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you heard. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and a bunch of others. Also, follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook under Chasing Waypoints, Instagram Chasing Waypoints _official, and of course, the YouTube under Chasing Waypoints. Hope everybody has a good week. We will see you guys for the next episode. Remember, shiny side up, and don't forget to tag us. We want to see where you guys are riding and what you guys are up to. Have a great week.